Precious son, you are welcome once again to the True Word channel. The True Word channel is a YouTube channel that brings to you nothing but the truth. Still under construction, we have certain problems with overhead waters. Water that is mostly from the atmosphere. We talk about overhead waters. We are referring to rainwater and also dew. Yes, our roofs, especially the concrete roofs and the canopies, are also vulnerable or open to these waters. Since time immemorial, concrete have been used for decking buildings or partial roofing, and then also used as canopies and channels for rainwater and dew to pass through so that it doesn't have effect on the walls of the buildings. Recently, in certain areas of the developing countries, we can see that this concrete roofing or partial roofing has emerged strongly, and we can attest to the inflow of these type of buildings, especially the ones that we call the secret roofings. Most of these secret roofings have concrete canopies, which are gutters that are used or that serve the purpose of draining water that is being collected by the roof. Once again, this is the Truth Word channel, and I am Eric Paddy Boso. Now, these roofs, especially the canopies, they need special treatment because concrete do not have, or certain types of concretes do not have the capacity or the ability to be able to prevent water from penetrating into it. The surfaces of concrete, no matter how smooth it is, cannot be set as a means to prevent water. Water as it is also volatile on its own way. Any small holes, because concrete contains or possesses small pores or holes, and when water gets contact into concrete, it tries to find ways and pores holes to be able to penetrate and also soak the whole concrete. So by so doing, we have to treat these gutters very well and make sure that they don't rather absorb water so that the whole building becomes wet. When you walk around the city, you'll find out that a lot of buildings or some buildings have always been absorbing water. Yes, they absorb a lot of water. Because of that, the plastering cracks, you see a lot of cracks, you see a lot of peeling on the paints on the surface of the walls, which is very, very bad. It doesn't look nice at all. And that also have a lot of effect on the building, because when a building or the walls of the structure begin to soak, overhydrated, it have a lot of effect on the building. It makes the blocks overhydrated or too much soaked, and it can buckle or break at any time, and it is also risky to our life. So we will take a look at certain type of treatments which are partial or which are for a short term. Then we also look at the ones that, or a particular one that I personally has researched on, and I've been using it for so many years, and it lasts for over 20 to 50 years. You don't need to have anything to do with your concrete roof or canopy anymore, and it is very, very effective. And when you're able to do it, you will have more value for your money. So, without wasting much time, let's get to the board. Now, let's say this is our let's say this is our roof. Let's say this is our roof. Then we have the canopy. That's under the edge of the roof. And let's say here's our wall. This is the canopy. Then this one is the copings. That is the canopy. That is the roof. And let's say this is rain, water, and dew falling on the roof. So with this diagram, we go to see the roof, we see the wall, we see the canopy. So when the water flows in this slope direction and then pours on the canopy, so let's say we take only the canopy side, which is like this, then this is the wall. Then let's say I want to show the pipes. So this is the pipe, that is either this is the pipe. Now this pipe is insert into the canopy. Then in certain designs, we have the pipe outside and then being clipped to the wall surface, to the foot of the wall where the water will finally fall down into the ground. We pour into the ground. Now there are other designs that we have the pipe embedded into the wall, so you don't see the pipe. You don't see the pipe. The pipe is inside the wall, from the canopy, inside the wall, all the way to the ground. So in each case, the pipe must be there. Especially this design or this technique is associated with the current roof style we are having now, which is um, the secret roofing that we all know. Yes. Now, in the in an attempt to prevent water from penetrating into the concrete, some people do screeding. They screed the inside of the canopy and then they leave it that way. It is not the best. In certain cases, some people also dress it very well with mortar, then they paint it and leave it that way. It is also not the best because eventually, when this canopy begin to heat up, because there's a lot of heat, it absorbs a lot of heat. When it begin to heat up, it will expand, and definitely the surface of the plastering will crack, which is the surface of the paint. And when it cracks, water enters and then accesses the concrete. And when water enters the concrete, it also enters the wall, making the wall very bad. Then the last thing is some people also use towels. Towels is also not the best because when we have towels, let's say we have towels laid this way, the gaps in between the towels, we mostly sometimes we use putty. We use putty to fill the gaps in between. And when you use putty to fill these gaps, what happens is when the floor of the canopy begin to heat for maybe 1 year, 2 years, these putty joints are going to crack. There's going to be a space because a time will come when this putty will expire because due to the amount of heat that is accumulated into the canopy, and then the changes in temperature. When it's heated at the daytime, in the evening there's rain or there's dew. So these changes in temperature can have effect on um, the material used, the putty used to fill the joints. And what happens is when it cracks, and then also when it's heated, when the canopy becomes very hot, what happens is it expands. So when the floor is expanding and then it's contracting, the time will come when these joints will become weak and also cannot hold anymore, and they will create a space. Air and water can pass there. And when water passes there, it will have access to the concrete, and then the canopy can have effect. So this one is also not the best idea. Now, what is the best idea? Now, over here, we see that this canopy have to be treated very well in order for us to achieve the maximum value that we want it for. But then, we don't just use any type of mortar to plaster or to dress this canopy. So, our concentration have to be on the masonry work. Now, in providing a best way to be able to take care of this canopy so that it lasts for a longer period as far as this building life is concerned, we need a lasting solution, and it must come from each step must be taken very very clearly and very very carefully so that we'll be able to achieve uh, very good results. So I will need you to very pay very good attention to this part of the discussion. Now, number one, we need good machinery work. So A, we need a good machinery work. This machinery work over here, the sand that we use for the mixing of the mortar before we use it to dress or to plaster inside the canopy, You have to what? Sieve. You have to sieve the sand to remove foreign materials. Yes, the mortar here must be very careful. We don't just take any type of sand and start mixing and no, because we need to be very careful. These foreign materials present in the sand, if you don't remove it, there could be broken pieces of wood, herbs, roots of trees, and so on. If you don't remove it, when it is present in the mortar, what happens is that it, when it when it is dried, when it's present in the mortar, it will be used to plaster this canopy and it dried. The spaces on which these foreign materials found themselves, it creates a hole, and those holes, water penetrates into those holes. So it is not advisable to use a sand that has not been sieved. So make sure the sand is sieved and free from stones, other foreign materials. Then B, the mortar must be very rich. The mortar we are using to do the plastering inside the canopy must be very, very rich. The cement must be enough so that it can make the mortar very rich because this is direct contact to sunlight and also water. So if you don't treat it very well, if the mortar is not rich, it can becoming wet or damp. And when it's damp, the wall will be damp all the time. And one day, somewhere eventually, it will affect the wall. So make sure that the mortar is very rich. Then also C, the mortar must be mixed with either damp-proof cement or aqua stoppers. These are chemicals we add to the mortar so that the mortar becomes more stronger than normal mortar. We don't use normal mortar for it, but we use this type of mortar that is added with additives to make it more and more stronger to be able to withstand a very good weather conditions. Yes. Then number four, that's D. We need a very good masonry finish. The mason that's going to plaster this wall or dress the inside must make sure that sometimes they don't finish it the same day. So what happened is they need to join the plastering. Maybe they did one today and another the following day they have to come and join it. So make sure that the joining is very, very well so that it doesn't have any gap in between the old plastering and the new one. Then also there shouldn't be any holes inside the plaster. Must make sure it is even and it is also smooth and it is also very rich so that even without anything, water can easily flow without penetrating into the wall. So you have what? A good finish. You should have a good finish of plastering, plastering or dressing of the canopy. Yes. So we should have a good finish. So first of all, good masonry work. Within the masonry work, we should have sieve the sand, remove the foreign materials, and then use it for the mixture. Then the mortar must be very rich. The cement must be enough. Then the mortar must be mixed with damp-proof or aqua stoppers. We will add additives to make it very more workable and also resistant to water. Then also they should have a good finish. The mortar, the plastering must have a very good finish because when it's not finished, then there are holes and there are pores, there are joints, improper joints. There's access to water and then air. Water can still access the concrete, which is going to cause us over here. So uh, these steps must be followed to be able to provide a very good masonry work within the space of the canopy so that water can easily access it into the pipes. Now, that is the first part. Now, the second part is we will need, so number two, we will need bitumen based damp proof paint. Then, number three, we need carpet or felt. Now, we need a bitumen based damp proof. This paint that are bitumen based are the best for treating waterlogged areas. Then also felt. So let's see how we are going to use this bitumen based damp proof and then also the felt or the carpet. Now, so after the plastering is being properly done and it's very neat, there are no holes, there are no spaces left. We make sure we clean the canopy inside very well from dust, from any foreign material, and also from wet like water. We make sure we clean it very well and we start treating this in a shiny day, a day that it is shining, sun is shining, so that the inside here is very hot, so that whatever we apply here can dry quickly. If there is water here and you apply it, what happens is that it doesn't have direct contact with the wall because it is bitumen based. So it flows on the surface of the water and it will not grab the wall the way we want it. So we make sure that we don't apply this paint inside this thing or do any of this treatment when it is raining or rainy season. We make sure that it is dry, the wall is hot, ready to receive. So now we mix this paint, we box it very well, and then we apply it inside from the down the canopy, the copings. We apply it inside the whole canopy this way. We apply at least two coats to make sure it has penetrated every corner and then the surface become ready and smooth. Then we leave it for about 48 hours to dry very, very well. Then the carpet also, we paint it with the same bitumen based waterproof paint. We also paint it both surfaces. We paint the both surfaces of the carpet also with the bitumen based paint. Make sure that it is also painted about two coats to make it very solid. Then now we bring the carpet to the side or to the canopy. What we do is that now we apply the same damp-proof paint again inside the canopy. This time around, we don't allow it to dry hard. It should be tough dry. Then the carpet also we paint one surface. Allow the one surface to also dry as what a tough dry. Then now we cut the carpet into yards where we can work with. So now the painted side we coming to paste it inside the canopy, the painted sides, both sides, both painted sides. We painted one side of the carpet, we painted inside the canopy. So we are going to paste it. So now the paint is being used as an adhesive to be able to use to paste the carpet inside the canopy. So what we do is that we paste the floor of the canopy first. So after we paste the floor of the canopy first, then we don't measure it just from the corner here to the corner here so that it just fits into it. We make sure it overlaps. Paste from the top here down and then something like this. So what happens is when we paste the top here, it overlaps the down one so that when water pours over here, it can easily go without going under the floor of the carpet we have pasted down there. So the top one overlaps on the down one on the floor of the carpet of the canopy. So when we finish, we paint inside again, the surface inside again, all over again, maybe two coats to make sure that all the joints, all the pieces, because the canopy, the carpet is long and the canopy is also long, but we can't paste all at once. So we cut it into yards and we paste. So this pasting, after that, all the joints we make sure we paint again with the same paint to make sure that all the joints are sealed properly. Then now we leave it. This technique will take us 30 years, 40 or 50 years. We still don't have anything to do with our canopy because it is protected. Now, the canopy can get heated and can contract and can expand, but it doesn't affect the surface. It doesn't affect the bitumen. Neither does it affect the carpet. And when the carpet have contact with the bitumen, it becomes very sticky and very strong like rubber. So it doesn't break, it doesn't crack unless the wall break before it can get distracted. Other than that, it still maintains the same. So this is what I've been using for so many years, and it has been help to solve a lot of leakage problems on roofs and canopies. So with this, you will save more money. When it rain, you don't have any problem with calling carpenter or any um, mason to go and check or to go and do repair work or anything. The walls are secured because, and then also you make sure that the masonry work, the plastering is being slanted a little bit so that the inside is not flat, but it should be slanted a little bit so that the moment water pours over here, it finds the lowest part of the canopy and then it connects directly through the pipes. It doesn't take too long, water doesn't stand too long inside the canopy. We make sure the corners are not stable, are not flat, so that water can sit here for any long time. Because the longer the water sits inside the canopy, the higher the possibility of penetrating. So you don't allow it. You seal it this way. You slant the angles this way so that the water can quickly run and find the pipes and then gets out of the canopy. So this is the way we treat the canopy with bitumen-based paint and then also with carpet. Then we have effective uh, treatment for our roofs and also our secret roof gutters. Thank you very much. As you have followed or you take this step, there's something you need to more explanation. There you can contact me. Then I'll give you more explanation. If you also have a house you wanted a treatment for a special treatment for your roof, maybe your roof is leaking or it's a new house that you don't have proper treatment and you want a sustainable treatment, you can contact me. Then I'll give you the right solution on how to treat it so that you will have so many years to enjoy your house. Thank you very much.